In 2008, we saw Liam Neeson become the biggest badass in movie franchise history, and all he had to do was promise somebody that he was going to find them, and he would kill them. Anyway, so that was the premise of Taken after his daughter had been kidnapped. And then, about 4 years later, in 2012, we came back with the sequel, Taken 2. Now, in this one, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just more of uh, the fact that the parents of Maggie Grace are now taken. So hopefully, Maggie Grace has learned what her father taught her in Taken 1. And so Liam Neeson and Famke Jensen are now um, being kidnapped by the same people that Liam Neeson had previously saved his daughter from, and they're out for revenge, basically. This one is a little bit different. Certain things kind of popped out to me. In the beginning edit, I swear that this one was going to say directed by Tony Scott, and I'm not exactly sure what year he passed, but I think he was still alive at that point. But the editing very much reminded me of like Tony Scott films, you know. And out of nowhere in this one, now I'm not saying it's wrong, but it seemed to be that Liam Neeson had caught a case of OCD because he's, everything's got to be perfect and like he's wiping stuff off and, just he's always on time and everything. So, I mean, he was punctual in the last one, but in this one, it seems like it has to be done or he's going to go just mad over it. And I guess it could be, kind of PTSD to an extent, but they don't really explain it other than the fact it's just there. And Lenny, Famke Jensen, is upset that her husband has been canceling one of their trips they're supposed to go on in China. And I was like, don't worry, Jean Grey. Everything in China will be canceled in 2020. So, everything about it is just, we know what happens. And it just kind of popped into my head. It was a little funny. At one point, so after they're being taken and all that, and Maggie Grace is showing off that she's a badass, she's running around on these rooftops, throwing grenades in different places to help Liam Neeson understand like where she's at based off of the sound. And I'm watching it, kind of laughing. I can just see the headline. It's like American extremist performs act of terror in Istanbul, and it's just like that would be kind of interesting to see the tables turned a little. It's pretty much status quo, like I said. We do get Casey Dutton in this one as the love interest, and of course Liam Neeson isn't having it. But he does grow to like him, as you will, as everybody else did with Casey Dutton. The one thing that I did notice, though, about the bad guys, though, is it's like they sit around and smoke cigarettes. So it's like, apparently cancer is the most deadly weapon that they have. Overall, it was good. It was just, the BS romance I thought was kind of dumb because, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that not everyone deserves a happy ending, but it's just one of those films that seemed kind of forced. Like, the second they started talking, I'm like, oh, of course, Liam Neeson and Jean Grey are going to get together. It just, and I just don't like that when it happens. But overall, the film is good. It's a decent sequel, and I recommend it if you haven't seen it. And if you haven't seen it, I will find you, and I will kill you. Take it easy.